Hi YouTube, this is Roxy, Firewife Lawyer Mom, and today we're going to talk all about the top 5 curriculums that I am loving this year. So stay tuned.
We don't care about the others. You set my world on fire. You're my heart's desire.
Hi everyone, welcome to Firewife Lawyer Mom. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you love these videos, if they bless you, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and join my homeschool family here on YouTube. We are just so excited to continue in our second year of homeschooling. We feel so blessed to be able to do this. So we are second year homeschoolers. I'm actually in my second year of homeschooling right now, and we are absolutely loving our homeschool life. And so as you guys know, every year before the year starts, I like to do a video on my curriculum choices, what I am choosing to use for that school year. And so these videos have been super popular. Everybody loves to see flip throughs and curriculum and all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure that we're already getting to the point where we're like mid-year or a little over mid-year, which is crazy to me that I'm almost like halfway through my second year of homeschooling. The time just flies. But it's that time of the year where we kind of start assessing what our curriculum is doing for us. How is it serving us? Is it working? Are the kids grasping things? Like, what is going on? Because obviously we're going to start to begin to plan for next year soon, right? I don't want to put any pressure on anybody, but I haven't started planning yet, just so that you know. But we do kind of take the time after the holidays are done, the hustle bustle, to really look at our curriculum and see, like, is it working? What should we do? Should we change? Should we stop? And so I'm a big believer that, you know, we can't force ourselves to work with a curriculum that may not be working for us. And so I want to share with you today, though, because I'm going to do a separate video on curriculum that has not worked. Because believe me, out of all that curriculum I showed you at the beginning of the year, some stuff was like a major bomb. They did not work for us. We did not like it at all. And we just kind of pushed it aside. And hopefully maybe it'll work for us later on in our homeschool journey. But right now, it just didn't work. Today, I'm going to show you guys what I'm absolutely loving this year for our homeschool and what has been working. So I'm going to share with you my top 5. I'm going to show you the books. I'm not going to do too much flip through because I don't want to make the video too long. But please, if you want to see a flip through or how we use the curriculum, please leave it in the comments below, and I will be more than happy to do a separate video on that curriculum, what I think about it, why it works for us, what are the kinds of things that I see are good things or bad things or pros or cons. So if you do want to see that, please leave it in the comments, because without your feedback, I'm not able to know what kind of videos you want to see. Now, I do know that you want to see curriculum videos. So I'm definitely going to share with you today at least a little bit about what these curriculums look like and how they have worked and served us in our homeschool. So number 1, let's just get right into it. Number 1, my first favorite curriculum that I am loving is IEW. This is a writing curriculum for children. My daughter's in 4th grade and she's using it. I believe they have for the younger elementary years, but we started this in 4th grade. Guys, I'm totally loving this curriculum. It is the godsend of godsend curriculum. Why do I love it? Because my daughter was in school until she was in 2nd grade. So we started homeschooling when she was in 3rd grade. Her writing, like when she got out of school, was like atrocious. And I'll tell you why. The reason why is because I believe, like in my experience, and again, I can only speak from my experience, the school that we were at really didn't teach her the structure of writing, how to form proper paragraphs, how to tie your story together, how to have your story make sense, how to sequence your story so that it flows well. Like, kids were just being assigned in our school basic, like, write what you love, you know, be expressive in your writing, but like there really was no structure to it. So I had done a lot of research And I being myself, literature, English, writing, that's my strong suit. I mean, obviously I'm a lawyer, so I have to know how to write. And writing for me is really important. I'm very good at it. Now, that's one of my strengths. Not everything is my strength because math is kind of my weakness. But as a lawyer, I know a lot about writing and how to write well. Well, I have to tell you that this is lawyer approved in my book. It is a fantastic program. Number one, what I love about it is Mr. Pudawa, who is the person who teaches these lessons, and came up with the program, he does the video lectures. So that kind of takes away from you having to teach your child writing. Writing for us has become a very, very touchy subject. My daughter gets like very upset when I correct her writing. And so this has helped us so much with the tears of me having to correct her writing, me having to teach her how to write, because she would take it very personally. And so I wanted to take myself out of correcting the writing and having to teach her the style of writing. And so this program is great because it goes week by week, and the kids watch an hour-long video, which is broken up into 2 different videos. So they have a schedule, like day 1, you watch the first half, day 2, you watch the second half, and then it goes into having to create a rough draft or an outline for what you're going to be writing, then a rough draft. Then your rough draft gets edited by me, obviously, and then you create a final draft. And it teaches kids how to properly structure their writing. And I have to tell you, writing is so important for college, for the older years. It's so important that children learn from a young age how to write well, because there are even adults that don't know how to write well, that don't know how to use proper grammar, that don't know how to properly structure their sentences. And I know this because I'm a lawyer and I read a lot of stuff, a lot of emails, a lot of things, and you would be amazed at the amount of people that don't know how to use proper writing skills. And so this is a great program for kids to learn how to put those writing skills into action. I absolutely love the teaching style of Mr. Pudawa. I love that he's funny, he's engaging with the kids, and my daughter just loves this program. So this is our number 1 choice for our top 5. So this is number 1. Number 2 in our homeschool that we are absolutely loving, and this is kind of fun because it's an art curriculum, and that is Evan Moore, Teach Art to Children. I love this curriculum, and I'm just going to open it a little bit for you guys. But basically what it does is it teaches the elements of art to children. So you start with line, shape, color, value, texture, form, and space. So these are the main art elements. And what I do is I do 1 different art element a month. So if you did 1 a month, you would be doing 7 months of art covered in this 1 curriculum. And what I love about it is that I get to use this kind of as a spine, and then I supplement with other things. And I can leave some resources of what I do, but basically I go through each of the elements once a month, and then I find projects and things that have to do with this element that we are studying. And I love the book because it helps you come up with different activity ideas, and trust me, they're pretty simple. One of the things that I have found frustrating with art curriculums is that they require so many materials. It's so labor intensive to have to prepare an art lesson. I mean, I don't have an art workshop in my homeschool. And so I want to have a curriculum that's open and go, that's pretty simple and easy to use. And I love Evan Moore's Teaching Art to Children because all of the activities are really, really simple. They just require basic art supplies, coloring, paint. Some of them even have, like, for example, here, they have their own built-in worksheets. So all you need to do is make photocopies for your students, and you could use this art sheet as part of the lesson for the day. I also supplement this with some videos, some YouTube channels that kind of go through each of the art elements, and I will link those in the description box below. But what I love is that you can even go on Google and type in, kids art projects that teach them shape, or that teach them value or texture. And you can see, like, even on Pinterest, a bunch of different activities that you can do. So it's really an easy way to build an art class into your homeschool. So we are absolutely loving the Teach Art to Children from Evan Moore. My third favorite curriculum that is working, my top 5, is this amazing little workbook, and it's called 240 Vocabulary Words Kids Need to Know. Now, vocabulary is something that I think a lot of times in homeschool kind of gets a little bit brushed under the table. People kind of associate it with language arts, but vocabulary really is kind of its own little animal, okay? Its own little subject within itself. And a lot of times language arts curriculums don't cover vocabulary and increasing a child's vocabulary. This is a really easy way, and you guys know I'm all about open and go, as easy as I can, not labor intensive type of curriculum, because why? I have homeschooled 2 kids. Like, I need stuff that's going to serve me and just be able to be open and go, and I'm able to just do it, right? So I love this because it breaks up into different lessons. And what I love is that each lesson comes up with, each lesson has words, right? A big group of words. And then you do different activities to teach you the vocabulary definitions of those words. And so that's what I love. So what it does is, like, what I do is each lesson has about 3 to 4 pages. So what I'll do is, like, we do vocabulary on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'll assign the first 2 pages one day, and then the last page or the last 2 pages on another day. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, we each do 2 pages. And the lessons are really simple, and they just work on it completely on their own. You don't have to teach them anything. And then what I do is, at the end of the week, we do a little vocab quiz. So I just, as you can see, I put in the numbers here that are in my quiz. And I just go over and make sure that they know their vocabulary words. They know what each of the vocabulary words they were studying that week. This is, like, amazing, because they have, even for, I think first grade is the smallest grade that they have in this curriculum, but I'm using it also with my first grader, and it's awesome. It breaks it up into, like, words that have, like, that are kind of related to each other. Like this week we just did, on our 240 vocabulary words for first grade, we did cooking words. So words that have to do with cooking and baking, like flour and oven and mix. Like, so that's what I love about it, that it breaks it up into different types of subjects or themes to the vocabulary words. This is one of my favorite curriculums. We used it last year and we loved it, and we're still loving it this year. Now, my number 4 favorite curriculum is our Spangled story curriculum for U.S. history. Now, this year we wanted to focus on U.S. history, because last year we focused on story of the world, and we still do a little bit of a world history type of curriculum. We actually ordered one and we didn't like it at all, and that's going to be in my video of things that I didn't like very much. So we are kind of focusing more on American history this year. And we have been loving our Spangled story. And what we love about it is that it is a Charlotte Mason type approach, where it teaches American history through stories. And I love it because it's very simple. The lessons are very short. The pictures are super colorful and amazing. It has a God-centered, a Christian-centered approach to the curriculum, so it does incorporate Christian values and principles. And I love that because it helps me to incorporate with my children the fact that we are a Judeo-Christian nation and we were founded on Judeo-Christian principles. And so I'm able to apply that because the curriculum talks about it. It has a Bible verse at the end of each lesson, which I love, that has to do with whatever we were studying in that lesson. It also has some lesson activities. It has a workbook and a timeline that comes with the bundle. So if you order the bundle, you'll get the student workbook, you'll get a literature book, you'll get like, I think it's like a test, like sample tests that you can give to your student. We don't really do it that much in depth. So basically what we do is we read the lesson. I ask them the review questions to make sure they kind of understood, and we do some of the hands-on projects. So at the end of the lesson, it'll have some like little, I'm gonna look for it. Like for example, for the Pilgrims, it did like, you know, create your own little Mayflower. Like, see, so at the end, it has a little project that you can do that kind of corresponds with the lesson. We haven't really done all of the projects because, you know, I have to limit myself on the amount of activities that we do. But they're really nice. If you really want to kind of focus on this just in 1 year, you can definitely do it. Now, this has 2 parts to it. We're probably not going to get to part 2 this year, so we're probably going to break this up between this year and next year. But this is a wonderful curriculum for American history. And I also love the company. I love the company that created this curriculum. I love the values that they have, their approach to history. I'm a huge history buff myself, and I really appreciate that they don't want to try to revise history. They don't want to make history into something where they can bring forth some kind of an agenda. It's just straight up history, what happened, you know, with a Christian slant, which I love and is perfect for our family. So we are absolutely loving it. And this is the student workbook that it comes with. And I will link all of this below so you guys can have the list of stuff that I love. But it has like little lesson, you know, activities. This we do every single lesson. So we don't do the projects every time, but we do the lesson because it's very short. It's like draw a picture or, you know, answer some questions. So it really is, again, an open and go curriculum that really works for our family. It also comes with a timeline. And this is a great thing that I do at the beginning before we teach a new lesson. We go through the timeline and we talk about, okay, where are we in the timeline? You know, where do we fall on what we're studying that day, and how does that relate to the entire history of the country? And so this curriculum goes right from the beginning, like Adam and Eve and the creation of the world, which I think is really cool because American history is something that was like, it was from the beginning, you know, it's all part of God's plan. And so I love that. But see how colorful the timeline is? I mean, it's really, really beautiful. And it's a little book. And I love this because this can end up being like a little resource book that you have and you keep forever. It's not just like a textbook type of thing. All right. So the last 2, actually, you know, I had thought this video was going to be top 5, but I got to tell you, I have one more that I absolutely love. So it's going to be top 6. So I'm going to show you my next love that I'm doing, that I am having this year. And that is, dun, 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 all about reading. I love all about reading, okay? Now, this is gonna give you, I have to give you a little bit of a backstory on All About Reading. So I saw All About Reading in my first year of homeschooling, but I was a little bit intimidated. I felt like, oh my gosh, this is like, has all these tiles that I have to like organize and these cards, and like it just felt like so much was part of the program that I was like a little overwhelmed when I first looked at it. But I went and continued in my last year when I was picking curriculum for this year. I kind of did a little bit more research on All About Reading, and I said, let me see if I can kind of give it a chance and just look into it. And what I found was that All About Reading is really, really good for readers who are struggling, readers who may have dyslexia issues. And my daughter does have some learning challenges, especially when it comes to reading. And so we wanted a curriculum that was slow-paced, something that was able to teach her the basics, that was easy for me and open and go for me, so that I can be able to teach her how to read. And last year, we worked on some curriculums that really didn't have much of a structure. I kind of just was focusing on sight words and focusing on like letter sounds and things like that. So this year I wanted something a little more formal when it comes to reading. So what I did was I did research on this and I found really, really good reviews, and they were all right. We love All About Reading. Why do we love it? Because it is something that has served my daughter so well. She is thriving in reading because of this program. And I mean, 100%, like, can't tell you enough about it. What it is that it basically goes step by step. It breaks it up, breaks up reading. It has a script. I love scripts. I don't have to come up with lessons. So there's activities that come with it. So what the program comes with, and there's tons of videos on All About Reading and, you know, what it looks like and flip throughs and all that, but it comes with these 3 readers. The stories are super engaging. They're very colorful. The pictures are great. My daughter loves these books. Like, she wants to just skip the lesson and go straight to reading the stories. So it's hard. I have to fight with her, like, to not touch the readers while we're doing our lesson. They're just really engaging, and I think just like kids just love it, right? It's very magnetic for kids. It also comes with these phonetic cards for phonetic sounds, and it comes with sight words and words that they need to learn. And again, it's very slow paced, but it is just wonderful. So if you have a struggling reader, really consider this program if you want to have something that's comprehensive. I even, she's going to a reading tutor just to get a little bit of additional help, and I was showing her my reading tutor this program, and she was loving it too. So it really is great. It has a really great little incentive program. It's all based on this little rocket dog that he is going through space, and he kind of follows along through the lessons. And every time the child completes the lesson, they get to put a sticker in Rocket Dog's little like sheet, which I don't have it in front of me, but it's really cute. They can track their progress themselves, and they get super excited because the closer that they get to the dog going in his rocket, like to space or whatever, they just get super excited about it. But it comes with an activity book, and it comes with a teacher's manual. The teacher's manual is awesome. Awesome. It's super open and go. It literally tells you like what to say, what materials you're going to need. Really, you don't need any other materials than what comes with the program. There's also an app. So if you don't want to use like their little letter tiles, which is what scared me at the beginning, there's an app that you could just download and it helps you with it. It has like this little window here where it just tells you like what the objective is, what you're gonna need, and before you begin, just so that you kind of read it. It takes me 2 minutes to read right before I give the lesson, and I'm on the way to doing it. And so we have just loved this reading program. My daughter is thriving in reading. What I love too is that it has like little warm-up worksheets that you do before you actually read the stories in the readers. And why that's, I think, is great is because it builds confidence in your student that they're gonna really master the words because they're practicing them ahead of time. So it's when by the time they get to reading the actual story, they've already seen what the words are gonna sound like, and they've already read the words. And so that's why I think they enjoy the stories so much, because of the fact that the program, the curriculum itself prepares them for having that confidence they need to be good readers. So it sets them up for success. And that's what I love all about reading. Okay, so here's my bonus curriculum, the one that I absolutely love that is working for us, and we just, we love it. It is Saxon Math. Saxon Math. We love Saxon Math. It is amazing in so many ways. Now, when I was looking for a math program for my daughter this year, last year when she was in kindergarten, she's in first grade now, but when she was in kindergarten, we did a lot of centers. We did a lot of like kind of loosey-goosey math curriculums. We didn't do anything very formal or structured. I did a lot of Moffat Girls centers and curriculums. So Moffat Girls is a teacher pay teacher site where they have a lot of math curriculum and language arts curriculum. And so we kind of did a lot of that last year because I didn't want us to be super structured in our kindergarten class, because at the end of the day, it's still kindergarten. So I wanted to make it really fun and hands-on. But this year in first grade, I felt like I needed to up my math game a little bit with my first grader and kind of put something in front of her that was a little bit more structured, that I know can cover all the math concepts. And for me, Saxon Math is tried and true. When I was looking at homeschooling my first year, I spoke with a lot of moms. I talked to a lot of people that were in the curriculum, and they have been looking at curriculum, and they've been homeschooling for years, and they've all told me a lot of the same thing, that Saxon's been around forever. It was around for like when we were kids and people were homeschooling, like I call that the dark ages of homeschooling, because like very few people were homeschooling, but it's just been around forever. It's like a super tried and true math program, and I love it because of so many reasons. But one of the reasons I love it is it's straight up math. I looked at other math curriculums when I was shopping around, and I felt like a lot of math curriculums like are full of color, and they're beautiful, and they have pictures and illustrations and little games and little things. And I just wanted something that's straight up math, because I feel like with math, you kind of, if you have too many frills and too many things going on, that it kind of takes away from the math concept that your child's supposed to be learning. So what I love about Saxon is that it is, and for the first 3 years, it is completely scripted. Why do I love scripting? Because hello, everything is done for me already. The work is done. It tells me what materials I'm going to need, and it tells me exactly what I need to say for each lesson to like describe like, you know, how my child's supposed to answer, what I'm supposed to ask them, how, like, it's literally scripted. I mean, how amazing is that? That you actually like don't even need to plan anything at all. Now, Saxon does have like a, they do like this meeting thing where they like, you know, you go through the calendar, you go through the days of the week and all of that stuff. We usually skip that part. Like we do some of it, but we don't do the entire like morning meeting thing that Saxon does. But that doesn't take away from how amazing this program is. We started the first grade math this year. We're definitely going to continue it next year. I feel that it, like, you know, a lot of times as a mom and knowing like simple concepts in math, it's hard for me to explain it to like a younger child. I think that's where like the disconnect was with us last year, that it was like, okay, I know how to add numbers, I know how to subtract, but how do I explain it to a child? Like, how do I explain it to their level, knowing what I know? So that's what I love about Saxon, that it gives you the language that you need to tell them so that they understand what you're explaining, what concept you're trying to teach. So that's why I love Saxon math in the early elementary years, because like I said, straight up math, you know, with Saxon, you're being taught everything you need to know for that grade level. And that's what I love about it. It's very, very standard focused. So they continuously repeat and repeat the concepts and have them practice and practice and practice. And I love that, because that's what math should be. The better that you are at math is because you've practiced. And so that's why I love this program. Now, I also use Saxon math with my 4th grader. And my 4th grader, once you get into the 4th grade levels, it is not scripted, okay? It's basically a math textbook. It gives you the lessons, it gives you the concepts, and you have to practice your stuff on your own. So we started with this. We started with the, I think this is like the intermediate. They have different levels. They have like Saxon 5-4, and then they have this intermediate level. This level is more for students who like, you know, want something that is not like over their level. And so this is kind of more of like a middle of the road. I don't know how to explain it. It's more for kids that math doesn't come easy to them. And that's my daughter. My daughter's very good in language arts, very good in reading. Her math is, you know, it's a struggle for her. She's got to really work hard at it. And so what I love is the lessons are very well broken up. They are very, you know, the concepts are very easy to grasp and very well explained in this book. Now, here's the thing. My daughter and I sometimes butt heads when we're teaching this. So I found an amazing resource that goes with Saxon math, and her name, who is like my angel this year, is Nicole the Math Lady. What is Nicole the Math Lady? Nicole the Math Lady is a math teacher. I don't know if she's a homeschooling mom, but she is an amazing math teacher who has put all of the lessons of Saxon, of these Saxon textbooks, and she teaches them online. Like, she actually teaches them online. I'm going to show you guys in this video what her website looks like, but it's basically a membership that you pay yearly. It's really not expensive at all for her membership, but it is great. She goes through the lessons, she goes through the practice problems with your student, and she teaches your students. Now I have this like amazing angel by my side, Nicole the Math Lady, who's like teaching the lessons for me, and I don't have to do it. And all I have to do is just check my daughter's work. I mean, that is, if that's not God sent, I don't even know, okay? So I love Nicole the Math Lady. I just discovered her from another YouTube mom this year. We're loving it. My daughter loves her. They even do like these little corny brain breaks like in between the lessons, so your kids kind of like don't get bored. She's very engaging, and we just love Nicole the Math Lady. So we supplement the Nicole the Math Lady program with our Saxon math, and we're loving it. That's it, guys. Those are the top 5 curriculums that we are absolutely loving this year. And I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that it kind of helps get your juices flowing with curriculum. One thing I do want to tell you guys, and this is my advice, don't worry about what you choose for curriculum. If it doesn't work, just toss it. If it doesn't work, maybe it'll work another year. You know, I like to keep my curriculum, and I don't like to toss it right away, because maybe it'll serve your family at some point later on in the future. You know, things change, kids, you know, evolve, and it may work later on. But definitely don't force yourself to be married to a curriculum that you've purchased, even no matter how expensive it is. If it's going to give you guys a headache, if it's going to make your homeschool energy go down, if it's going to, you know, not serve your family well, and you're going to have tears and frustration, you don't want to have that when you're dealing with curriculum and homeschool, because again, that's why we homeschool, so that we have the freedom to be able to choose what works for our family. And so that's one thing I want to leave you guys with. Thank you so much for joining me. Please make sure to hit the like button, make a comment if you of what curriculums you're liking this year, and I will do another video on what is not working next time. So thank you so much.
Wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Just tell me you'll stay, or